Hello, Freedom Guy 55 here again, and I just wanted to actually talk to you about it. Fast 5 just came out on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever you say, and the interesting thing is I wanted to talk about it because it is a very surprising action movie. I mean, it was, and it kind of got me to recall about action films, and basically got me to recall about Speed, the movie Speed. The movie Speed is absolutely one of the most unbelievably good action movies. I mean, it's one of the best action films of all time. One of them. I don't know if it's the best, but it's one of them. Basically, and it was the biggest surprise. I mean, it was just like a surprise like Fast 5, which was really good. And it's like thinking about it, and I was thinking, what really makes a basic good action movie? Well, definitely, it does not make it like this. Okay. That shit does not work in an action film. Do not do it. I'm sorry, I'm stressing. All freaking critics on YouTube really hate that shit. It's like you're basically taking the camera and putting it in the hands of Michael J. Fox. Yeah, I know, it's a bad thing, but it was a good fucking analogy. Now, anyway, I don't mean anything wrong with Michael J. Fox. Thank you. Anything bad to Michael J. Fox. Sorry if I did. Anyway, enough of that stupid shit. But the thing is that within action movies, what makes a good action movie? Well, when you wind up looking at Speed, it's basically amazing enough. How does one of Joel Schumacher's cinematographers, John de Bont, direct one of the best action movies of all time? And then, of course, make a sequel that's one of the worst action movies of all time. But that's another story. The thing is that within Speed, the greatest part about what makes it really good is the concept of building its tension and the concept of challenges. People like challenge. When you wind up actually playing a video game, and please, do not make an action movie based upon anything within a video game. Okay? Please, don't. It's just don't. Alright? Movies are different. Video games are different. Period. Please, separate those. Thank you. Anyway. The one thing is that you wind up actually having the kind of things in video games where you have different challenges, different obstacles that individuals need to go over and need to actually find a way. In an action movie, it's kind of similar. Not exactly similar, so don't use them. But it's kind of similar. When you wind up actually seeing an action movie like Speed, that elevator sequence is probably one of the best ones. You know, it's about, Speed's about Mad Bomber and such like that, right? And then he breaks the cables with a bomb on the elevator. And it's only being held by the brakes. But the brakes are rigged with a bomb. And he's basically wanting ransom. Well, anyway, here in comes Keanu Reeves and, of course, Jeff Daniels. And they wind up actually trying to find a way to, help keep the particular type of people in the elevator alive. And what they do is they wind up actually taking a pulley system that's on the roof, and they bring it down and funnel it through the ventilation system, and then all the way down the elevator shaft to the elevator, hooking it to the elevator. So if the actual brakes break, then the actual cable will get it. So then they feel a little bit safe to cut a hole and then try to get the people out of the elevator. Well, the interesting thing is the challenge comes in where the actual person who's the bomber hears something on his radio, and he winds up saying, "Don't fuck with daddy." Boom! Boom! Blows the locks. Now it's being held by the cable. Now you have a time lapse. Now you have time on your hands. You have to get these people out of the goddamn elevator in a nick of time, in some sort of way, so that basically you can remove the individuals out of the actual elevator and get them to safety before this is actually going to fall, because the actual pulley system is not going to actually hold completely. So they're trying to get the people out, and they're getting all these people out. And then there's another challenge being added. One of the women in the actual elevator is actually really scared. Really, really scared. So she winds up actually really not knowing whether or not she can get out of the thing. So you're going to have to convince her, or at least the people in the movie, are going to have to convince her that basically, you know, you need to come on and all this other shit. And so you got this going on. You got the actual crane basically losing its tension. You got all of this other shit going on. Boom, 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 boom. And all of a sudden you get the woman out, and then her feet get in, and then the whole crane goes down, and zhoosh, the elevator goes down. Just in the nick of time when the feet come in. And you're just like on the seat going, oh, damn. They did it. Woo! You know? You're just like that. And that's what makes a good action sequence. When you build these challenges, when you build those tensions, and Speed has a lot of them. That's how you do it. This is how you do it. I mean, it's the same thing where he's underneath the bus, right? And he's winding up actually doing the, you know, trying to defuse the bomb. He can't defuse the bomb, so he winds up actually just, you know, all of a sudden he just stops. The cable breaks. Boom! All of a sudden he's like, you know, on the wheels underneath the bus trying to actually survive. All of a sudden he jams the screwdriver right into the gas tank, all over him. Then they wind up actually picking him up onto the actual bus underneath it. And then you realize that, guess what? Time is on your time. You have time. Or at least, you know, time's running out for this particular kind of bus. Because guess what? The gas is going out. And guess what? The bus is going to slow down. As you know, if it goes under 50, after it's gone over 50, it's going to blow up. So basically, the thing is, they wind up actually having to build some tension to actually find out how they're going to get people off this bus and basically get it to a point where the bus is going to blow up, where no one else is basically around. And then you have this other stuff. You have other particular kind of things going on even before in the film, like basically when the road is gone. Then you have another challenge. How is that going to happen? Then even at the end of the film, even after the guy dies, you have even another challenge. So they're adding more challenges to this film over and over and over again. This is what's so really interesting about Speed. This is what makes a good action movie. When you have action sequences, they're well paced out and actually are building really good tension. The thing is, with Fast 5, they have some other particular kind of similar sequences to it. Like when you wind up actually looking at the one on the train, the kind of sequence on the train, where you have the actual truck thing winding up actually, all of a sudden Paul Walker jumps on the truck, or the truck thingy, whatever it is, the truck platform. He winds up holding for dear life. He winds up actually going up, trying to actually, you know, get the guy off the actual, the driver, and it tries to beat up the driver or something like that. And then all of a sudden, the actual truck goes right, embeds itself right into the actual train. All of a sudden, the gas tank is ruptured. Then you got another challenge there. All of a sudden, there's another challenge. The tank is ruptured, and then it's going to blow up. Boom, shoo. It winds up blowing up. He tries to actually maneuver out it, and he just maneuvers just in time to actually hang on for dear life. Now, he's hanging on for dear life. Then you wind up actually seeing another challenge. The other challenge is the frickin' bridge. The bridge that actually has the, you know, metal on the side and such. So basically, there's the bridge. And then he winds up saying the bridge is coming. Then Vin Diesel winds up actually finding the actual, car or whatever. And he winds up getting into the car. And he winds up actually going out of the car. And then he winds up actually trying to, drive the car to the point where he actually can get it parallel with, Paul Walker, so that he can actually get onto the actual, car. And then all of a sudden these other elements are going on, and zoom, Paul Walker jumps right in the nick of time as the, truck hits the side of the metal shit. And then all of a sudden there's another challenge. They can't stop. They have to drive the car over the bridge, and then all of a sudden, zoom, and then they have to jump from the car and into the ravine. I mean, seriously, that's how you build it. Tension, challenges, things like that. And let me tell you something. Unless you are a Christopher Nolan director, do not make the action movie complicated. Please, don't make it complicated. If you don't make it complicated. Make it simple, really. Just make it simple. It's good. It's better for the actual action movie. Believe me. The thing is that it's good to make the plot simple just because you can leave enough room to actually build certain particular kind of action sequences that would actually invoke certain good tensions within the movie itself. That's how it would work. And please, above all else, do not force down our throats characters in the movie and try to actually make us care for characters that you don't develop well. or you won't develop well. If you wind up developing the characters, let the characters gradually develop. Don't try to actually say that they're developed enough, let's force this shit down our throats. This is the one thing that really pissed me off about Columbiana. Don't ever do that. And remember, don't ever, 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 as I stated before, have the camera go like this in an action movie. Please. All of us critics hate that shit. But anyway. And I guess that's it. That's really on that sense of how I wanted to just talk about how an action sequence really works and what is really good within how you make action in an action movie. Building tension and building obstacles. That's how you do it. And make sure that you do it right. Don't try to actually do it wrong to the point where you're watching something like, Indiana Jones 4 and you wind up actually seeing like, okay, that's a little stupid. Because if you wind up saying something like that in an action film, I don't care whether or not you go for physics, because action films don't really go for physics, okay? They break laws of physics all the time. What you want to really do is try to make it at least real enough so that you can actually care more about the tensions within the films than actually trying to make it cartoonish to the point where you're not actually looking at it like when you watch the movie Shoot 'Em Up and go, that was stupid. That was dumb. Because once you're doing that in an action movie, that's when you got a shitty action film. Just like to tell you. Well, anyway, that's what I just wanted to talk about, is just how how I think how an action movie kind of seems to work very well. And so I wanted to take two surprising action movies, which is basically Fast 5 and Speed, to show you, how it works. Or at least to show you how I think how it works. I think. Anyway, and that's it. And I thank you for your time, and have a nice day.